What up, what up, what up? Welcome back to Pnoid News. So today, I got to correct some people. I've had two individuals come to me so far with this fucking story about the train derailment. All right. Now look, I've worked in heavy industry most of my life. I've done, I made truck springs, I made line pipes for gas lines. I ran logistics for hazmats. I work for I pull containers for the rail right now. You know what I'm saying? Like I've lived around like some of the largest railroads in the fucking country my entire life, and NOLA's right down the road. We have like five Norfolk Southern, whatchamacallits, rail yards around here, right? And on top of that, we got a CSX and, some other shit, right? So listen, when it comes to things like industry and industrial stuff, you should probably consult somebody to know some things before, like, just assume that you know what's going on, right? It's a highly important ideology to have because, like, all of a sudden I get this, right? Shocking. Environmental disaster intentionally caused by federal government. A derailed train carrying many carloads of polyvinyl chloride was detonated on purpose in Palestine, Ohio. That's the last thing you ever want to do. That substance, when not cured, as was the case, is probably the worst carcinogen known to man. That's literally not true. None of this is true. Not an ounce of this, right? None of this is true. I think they wanted to cause a huge disaster, so they derailed the train on purpose and then, for no conceivable reason, put explosives on the tanks and blew them up on purpose. Okay, first off, this is some of the most flammable chemicals that you can transport. They are unbelievably flammable. And when they're not cured, like, they evaporate like this, right? And they're extremely flammable substance, right? And so as you heat them up, they start exploding. It just tends to be how it works, especially inside of a pressurized tank. Now, let's get to the real story. Okay. Oh, wait, hang on. Let's do that. Okay. A freight train derailment in Ohio near Pennsylvania state line has left mangled and charred mass of boxcars in flames Saturday. Authorities launched a federal investigation and monitored air quality from the various chemicals on the train. About 50 cars derailed in East Palestine about 9 p.m. Eastern Friday as the train was carrying a variety of products from Madison, Illinois to Conway, Pennsylvania. Rail operator Norfolk Southern said Saturday there's no intermediate information about what caused the derailment. No injuries or damage to structures were reported. The post-derailment fire spanned about the length of the derailed train cars. Blah, 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 blah. Right. Okay. The fire has since reduced, and a member of the National Transportation Board told reporters Saturday evening the fire has since reduced in intensity, but remains active on the two tracks are still blocked. Okay. Now, Norfolk Southern said 20 of the more 100 cars were classified as carrying hazardous material defined as cargo that could pose any risk of danger, including flammables, combustibles, or environmental risk. Ram said 14 cars carrying vinyl chloride were involved in the derailment and have been exposed to fire, and at least one is intermittently releasing the contents of the car through a pressure release device as designated. They do their best. They do their best, right? Okay. So now, okay, let's see here. Last one. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. Now, why is this happening? Well, because the rail yards have been cutting costs to the bone. Recently, we had that whole rail strike happen. One of the reasons is because they wanted to take all of the trains and take them down from 2 conductors per train to 1, right? And they've been skipping on maintenance and, trying to offload that cost to somebody else and do it for cheaper. Why? Because giant companies like Swift are basically taking freight at a discount. That way they can just maintain the growth of their companies and growth in their stock, therefore, right? They're capturing more of the market. So now, with that being said, let's talk about this. Okay, so a lot of people think like train derailments are something that like never happens, right? That's not true. Okay, I'm going to go through some of the stuff that's happened just in the past couple of years, right? That's just kind of interesting. July 29, 2020, a United States freight car derails on a bridge in Tempe, Arizona. The wreck catches fire and then the bridge collapses. January 1st, 2021, a BNSF train strikes a landslide, derails near Bonnets Ferry. Actually, this is 2020, Bonnets Ferry, Ohio. Both locomotives end up in the Kudatai River. 2 crew are rescued by boat. February 13th, United States, 5 cars of a 96 car CSX freight train derailed in Daphne due to a rock slide. The locomotives and train cars caught fire, causing evacuations of nearby communities. 2 crew members of the train were taken to a hospital. 24th of January 2021, United States in Hartford, Connecticut, an Amtrak train collided with a maintenance truck which is stuck on a railroad crossing. The train hit the truck and 6 people were injured. November, here's 2 for 1, right? 28th of November 2020, United States in Wellington, Colorado, a BNS team collided with an empty train car and derailed the train wheels of the empty car, which made the BNSF train derail. 1 person was injured. United States, 19th of December 2021 or 2020, 2 people were injured after 2 Dallas area rapid area transit train collided with each other in downtown Dallas. Officials stated the transit's northbound Orange Line train derailed itself and then collided with the southbound Red Line train. 6th of March, United States, in Front Row, Virginia, Norfolk Southern train derails, killing 1. There's no reason for it. It just happens. August 26th, United States, in St. Paul, Minnesota, 3 trains, a Union Pacific, 1 Canadian Pacific, and 1 BNSF, collided into each other, spilling chlorine into the river. September 25th, United States, 2021, Montana train derailment, 8 real superliner cars of Amtrak's westbound Empire Builder train 727, a doubleheader heading to Chicago to Seattle, derailed and tipped over near Joplin, Montana at approximately 3:55, located 100 miles northeast of Great Falls. All right. A U.S.-Canadian border between Montana, between the eastern side of Out of the 146 passengers, 16 crew members on board, 3 people were killed, according to Liberty County's officials, and injuring 50 others. Only 7 of them were hospitalized. The accident occurred in the line known as the High Line, a portion of BNS Railway's Northern Transcom. 12th of October, United States, Washington, D.C., a blue line Washington Metro derailed near Arlington Cemetery Station. The train was carrying 400 people. Only 187 evacuate first. No deaths were reported, but 1 person was injured out. And then people just straight disappeared. 19th of December, United States, in Darby, Pennsylvania, SEPTA train trolley crashes into a CSX train. 6 people were injured. 19th of December, United States, a derailment of 40 Union Pacific cars occurred a half-mile west of Naphtha, Missouri. All the cars were carrying wheat. Here's something really hilarious. January 9th, 2021, United States, a Metrolink train collides with a Cessna 127. That's right, a train in a fucking plane, right, destroying the aircraft. The Skyhawk had suffered an engine failure to take off from Whiteman Airport in Los Angeles and landed on the railway. The pilot had been rescued from the aircraft prior to the accident. 11th of May 2021, United States at Clarendon Hills, Illinois, a Metro train crashed into a truck at a railroad crossing. 1 passenger on the train, Christina Lopez, was fatally ejected from the train and died. 4 others were injured. The train didn't derail but made a stop at Clarendon Hills Station. The truck driver had escaped the truck seconds before the train crashed into the truck. The truck caught fire. It was pulverized when the train crashed into it. 1 person was killed and 4 were injured. There's a good one. 11th of May, United States, 2021, Clarendon Hills, Illinois, a Metro train crashed into a truck at a railroad crossing. 1 passenger. Oh, wait. We already read that one. Hang on. Here we go. Yeah, okay. 2022, an Amtrak June 22nd, 2022, a Missouri train derailment. Amtrak Southwest cheap passenger train carrying 23 passengers collides with a dump truck obstructing a railway in Mendon, Missouri, derailing 8 cars and 2 locomotives. 4 people were killed, 3 on board the train, and the truck driver and 40 were hospitalized in the derailment. 31st of August, United States, in El Paso, Texas, a Union train crashed into a derailment device that was on the train tracks and killing a train conductor named Mario Navarro. One of the derailed train cars had a gas leak, which made nearby houses to evacuate. The train derailed in Alfalfa train yard. 1 person was killed. Okay, and then everything. I mean, I'll read through a couple of these. 11th of September, United States, Florence, South Carolina, CSX train crashed into a car. Denver, Colorado, train derails. Man, listen, hang on. Let me do this. All right. Train derails and splits into two. 3 people were injured. United States and Miami-Dade, Florida. 2 CSX trains crashed into each other. In Sandusky, Ohio, a 101 car Norfolk Southern train derailed at speed, dropping 20 tanker cars of paraffin wax into a road underneath. I mean, that's what you need. You know what I mean? Uh, in Chicago, Illinois, a metro train crashed into a Chicago Transit Authority bus at a railroad crossing. So the train hit a bus. In Amity, Florida, an Amtrak train crashed into a truck at a railroad crossing. The accident happened around 1:19 p.m. 208 people on board, but the train driver was injured, taken to the hospital. No deaths reported. In Waterbury, Connecticut, train crashed into a semi-truck. 21 October, train derailed after crashing into rail equipment at a railroad crossing. 27th October, Branson, Missouri, a Silver Dollar City amusement park passenger train had derailed, injuring 7 people. Ravenna Township, Ohio, 22 cars of a 237-car Norfolk freight train derailed, causing damage to line-side property. November 3rd, in Baltimore, Maryland, the Baltimore Light Rail Link train was hijacked by Adrian McDonald. The train was switched onto another track at 4:15. At 5 p.m., the stolen train crashed into a southbound train. Somebody was watching some Pelham, you know what I mean? This is from South Korea. How about this one? Seoul, South Korea. Train had derailed. 275 people on the train was heading to Ison Station, North Jola Province. Accident happened. 30 people were injured. November, India, train derailed, 3 people were killed. I mean, like, I would assume if like a train derailed in India, all them fucking people on top would all of a sudden no longer be on top, right? United States and Clarkson, Florida, freight train derailed, crashed into a truck. 1 person was killed and 1 was injured. I guess what I'm saying is this. Look, when you have industry in your country, you can expect industrial accidents. It's part of life in being in, an industrialized society. There's almost nothing you can do. Shit is not safe. A lot of the chemicals that you use every day, like this fucking polychlorine shit that, leaked out or whatever and caught fire, it's in everybody's house. You're probably like looking at a piece of it right now because your computer's made of it. That outside shell, yeah, that's polystyrene or polychlorine, right? The motherfucking pipes underneath your sink, same shit, right? A lot of the plastics in your home, like all your kids' toys, all this stuff is made out of these type of things. It's this type of stuff that makes modern life possible in America. Go look at your fridge. See all that plastic on the inside? That's what all this type of stuff is. Look, this is how the world works. People need to fucking stop, all right? Industrial accidents happen all the time, constantly, all right? And they happen even more in a society where we don't want to do the basic maintenance. Real shit. And we really don't want to do any basic maintenance anymore because it costs money, costs time, costs efficiency. And the most important thing to any company is money, time, and efficiency, son. Because that ends up translating to dollars. Figured y'all might enjoy this. Look, Tom P's of Pnoid News, Mountain, Cappy. Y'all got questions, come ask me. I'm kind of an industrial specialist. You know what I mean? I know this stuff. Holla at your boy. I'm out. Peace.